Welcome to race 6, 53 kilometer of pain. Now let's see who's eager for this. This is the last one of our league. Now as we can see there, we have got Dirk Lowe. He is on the start line, ready to go. Alan is here, a nice yellow kit. It's the tour of Watopia kit. I'm also there. I already feel sorry for myself. Big suffering ahead. Let's have a look. Who else? Have a look. I saw Urine. Yeah, there she is, right in the front. Just behind her to her right is Patricia. I saw Tew. Let me see who else. I saw Roland is there. And if I'm right, oh, is Leonie is here. Oh, we've got a nice field, eh? Everybody's here. And let's just see. Waiting for names to pop up so I can recognize. I saw Nicholas, there's Urine, there's Leonie, there's I saw Gerrit van Skalpwijk here as well. There's Tew, Few. I'm not English, I can't say that. But anyways, it's quite a long race. It depends on how you tackle us. But let's fast forward to the start. We can't stand around here. Let's jump to 10 seconds to go. And there we go. Now, as always, Swift, you start like the devil is behind you. And let's see how this goes. Yeah, of course there's no difference. As you can see, 490 watts. Now, of course, this is not sustainable, but you have to start this way and then try and keep this up as long as you can. Watch your heart rate. If your heart rate starts to go too high, then that is about then you must look for a little group that you can actually stay in. If that happens to be the front group, then you are awesome. Now, as you can see, Alan is pushing here 360, 410, 400. So Dirk Lowe here, he is actually pacing himself now. I can see 140 heart rate, 209, 213. So he started hard, but now he's just keeping a nice steady pace. Nicholas, I can see he's pushing 230, 240, heart rate 148, still lots of room. 90 cadence, that's very good. Roland, that's serious watts, my man. 290. And oof, that is some watts, man. And his heart rate is very high already, 165, but he's a young lad, so his heart can go. This is Sue, and he's got no heart rate. He must go buy one. I know, yeah, most places still have stock of it. This is Gerard. He's pushing quite nicely, 230. Leonie, our cameraman is jumping a bit fast, but Leonie here is doing a decent pace, and her heart rate is close to 160, so that means she's not loafing. She's definitely pushing quite hard. Urine, I can see she's pacing it very moderately, of conservatively, but that's what will get you to the end. Now here's Nicholas. As I saw, he is pushing it. I saw his heart rate was also quite close to 160. Now we have Alan. Alan is 160. I think his max heart rate is close to 180 or 178. So he's definitely pushing quite hard. I know I was in a group in the front, but they were catching. he was in his second. My group actually split, so there's the top 8 guys went away. Here I am. We already dropped now because I can't keep up with that pace. See that one guy, he's trying to breach, but like, okay, you go, enjoy, and hopefully he makes it, but he didn't make it. We soon caught up with him again. Then Roland, he's right behind Alan's group. His placing is now around about 85, and he's still pushing quite high watts, and I must say it's nice to see. Nicolas 94, so he's just behind Roland's group. Yeah, I can see he's just there in front is Roland, and that's quite nice. These two guys are really pushing it. It's quite nice. Dirk, his heart rate is now almost, yeah, it's about 146, and he's doing a decent pace, 220, 230. It's quite nice. Dirk Low. Yeah, that is a very good pace. But what you should do is you should accelerate or deaccelerate. It depends on the group around you. This is Gerard, and he's got a nice group going here. Just stick to the group, and they will take you quite far. I see that he and Theo is together. I don't know how. Patricia's also here, so they are 3 of them is together. And if you look at their watts, then you can see what the difference kilograms make. And Leonie is in her own little group. Yeah, Urine is behind Leonie, and as you can see, Nicolas is still here. I think he's still together with everybody there. Okay, this is Alan. I just saw my name there as well, so they caught up with my little group, and now we're quite a big group, and this is quite nice. It makes it sort of easier to go along at a blistering pace. These guys, it's just, shall I say, basically I'm at my max almost all the time. My heart rate here is 155. I think my max is 168 at the moment. Yeah, and it's pushing quite hard. Roland is already at my max heart rate. He is pushing a lot, but he's a young guy, so he cannot do it. He's 165 heart rate and still doing decent watts. Actually very high, because he's whenever I look, he's like at 270 watt, and that's extremely high. Nicolas, I think he got dropped here. That pace was probably a bit too hard. Now he's all in his lonesome here in the Cowboy Valley. Hopefully there's no Indians out to get scalps. But now you have to make the decision. Are you gonna put in effort to try and catch, or are you gonna just wait for a group at the back? Most of the time, if you got dropped, then in any case what you should do is just wait for the group behind you. So just go to a sensible pace, don't push, and just wait. And when a group catches up from behind, then you just carry on with them, and in the end you'll be much faster than what you would have been on your own. So here we are still together. I was actually suffering a bit, because as you can see, 156 heart rate, and basically most of the time I'm above my FTP, so it was quite hard. And we're back with Roland. His heart rate almost 170 already, and he's still keeping it up. 290, 310. Amazing. Very well done. Now some people ask me, how do you know if a hill is incoming? basically I'm going to show you, if you look at your mini-map, now if you look in this mini-map and you look at, I'll put an arrow there. If you look at the bottom there, there's a little brown curve. Now that brown is actually showing you the hill, the elevation and stuff. Where I put this yellow arrow, that is where you are, and then you'll see you are moving there, so you then can estimate how long it will take to get there. You can estimate how steep the hill is going to be, how long it is going to be, so that when you get to the hill, then you can take it. You know you're probably going to go 20% above your FTP, and you know you can sustain it and never stop or relax on top of the hill. You have to push right over, and that is where most people get dropped, is right on top of the hill. So you did all the effort to get up there, and then people accelerate over the hill, and what you do is you start to relax on top of the hill, and then they drop you. That is one of the secrets of racing online as well. Always push on the uphills, because what happens is that there's basically the harder you go, the quicker you get over the hill, the better actually for your power and everything. And what I'm gonna do now, so I can see everything is sort of settled, and let's just see if we jump back to the other people, because we've been watching Sorrel suffering here, and 275, 265, that's way above his FTP. And here's Roland, and he's going quite well. He's still maintaining in the high 260s, 270s, unbelievable. He's doing an excellent job here. His heart rate is 170. I would like to see if he can sustain this to the end. And we're back with Sorrel. You're gonna watch this guy blow up soon. Actually, it's about 6 k's from the end, no more. But it was, you see, they gave him a steel bicycle to. I have to start with the excuses here. And you see, they gave him a steel bicycle, and I think the tubes in the tires were also vintage, and I think it was extremely old, so it basically had a slow puncher from the start. So the further we went, I could feel the bicycle starting to go. It's just becoming heavier and heavier. And if you look at Alan here, I don't know what kind of vintage steel frame he is on, but his bicycle does actually look quite nice. I'm right behind him at the moment, trying to get some slipstream, but I can tell you the protein shake that guy is using, it's no good. You don't want to ride behind him. If you look here, Roland is still pushing 270, 280. Excellent job, unbelievable, excellent. And his group is like 80, 82, 81, 79 is his group, and our group is now, as you can see, is 44, 46. There's Alan on my left, and yeah, the pace was just a little bit hot for me. I don't know, wait, I must stick to the flat wheel thingy. A slow puncher, slow puncher. Alright. I'm going to skip a little bit forward because it doesn't help we watch the whole race. Alright, so we're going to go to, let's say about 40 k's in. So that is about 12-13 k's to the end. And then I'll basically show you what happened. We're still cruising along here. I'm hanging at the back, which is actually bad to do because you have the yo-yo effect. You have to put in extra power to get, as you can see there, 250. and then you have to put extra power, and then you go to the, you catch up too fast, you go to the front, you have to deaccelerate. Now it's like 250, and there's 111, 151, 241, and then you're going to fall off the back, so you go back to 300 watts, 297. So you have this yo-yo effect, but that is only happening because you actually you don't have the power to stay constant, because like I'm basically cooked here. You see Alan's heart rate is 170 and his max is like 178 or something like that, so he's still got some left but not much. And if they switch, and you can see the wattage is also 260, there's 305. On the gravel road or on the gravel pieces, these bikes are actually very slow. There's more resistance because they actually implemented the different type of compounds between, I think, gravel, they've got the tarmac, and then they've got volcano roads, and I think off-road as well as something else, but there's different rolling resistances, so it does make a difference what you choose for what race. I watch pro races where the guys all pitched up with mountain bikes and gravel bikes, and you're like, why? And then they drop everybody on the hills, on the gravel hills. So it's unbelievable, but it does make a difference. As you see, basically we are now nearing the Italian village. There's a little kick before it. Now I made a mistake here, because I was suffering and I don't want to get dropped. So what happens if you actually go faster on the uphill than the rest, and you can be in the front when you start the uphill, then basically as they come past you can basically rest, and then you basically tag on. That works in real life very, very well. So if you know you're slower than the rest of the people on the uphill, make sure you are first on the uphill, and then you can be last off it and you're still basically in contact. So this is basically what I wanted to do here, because I knew this was the, sort of the, shall I say, basically the last hill before the volcano. So it is now, it's already, all of this is already 1 degree incline, so this is quite hard. You can see Alan here 280, 263. You can see me just hanging at the back 240, 164 heart rate. So there's only like four left, okay, 3 left. It's 4 left. But any guys, this is there. I'm already at 166. Only 2 more to go. And this is still the 1 degree. Now you can see I'm right at the back, but now the little kick comes, and now I basically overdo it, because I panicked a bit and I went deep, and my heart rate is max. I'm doing 370. I'm actually now, when I start to overtake the people, I should have actually just backed off slightly. There I just went past Alan. Now I basically backed off, but it's not because I wanted to, it's because I had to. There's just nothing left. My heart rate was max, everything was max. I just can't go anymore. But now I just go backwards. I was still doing decent wattage and everything, but I think that slow punch got me here. You'll see my guy is sort of stuck behind sticky draft, behind another guy, and it just wouldn't go past him, and I didn't have the power to go past. And yeah, when this blue guy came past me, I should have now kicked and go, but there was absolutely nothing. They just pulled this gap so quick, and I basically already gave up. There's 478, So I was trying there, but there was nothing. And then yeah, I decided to give it one more go. So I got out of the seat, and I really pushed it. Yeah, as you saw, it was like 500, 600 watts, and nah, I gave up. So this is what it looks like if you blow up. You can see there's 96, 90, 85 watts. That means you absolutely destroyed. Heart rate is max. Legs are somebody else's legs, it's not mine. And Alan and them, they're just cruising along at 360. So it's all about that one hill. If I did not overcook it on the hill, if I could stick on the down, then I wouldn't have had a problem to stay with them. Yeah, because they're not going extremely hard. They're doing 220, and Alan is heavier than me, so I would be doing 200 or a little bit less. Yeah, so that would have worked. But anyways, I got dropped. That's the end of that story. And 44, there's only about 7 kilometers to the end, and in this 7 kilometers they'll gain about 5 minutes on me. Yeah, easy, because you see the wattage they were going at. Most of the time they were 219, 200 and yeah, about there, just cruising along. If the camera switches back to me now, you'll see that I just needed a couple of seconds to basically recoup, get the heart rate down, and then you can sort of pick it up and you can sustain again 220 of like that. I don't see that yet, but it's gonna get there. There's 250, there's 220. So then you can basically pick up the pace. Now if you were with them, you could stick. Now I'm on my own, so my speed is down to 35 kilometers per hour. I'm now only trying to maintain 35 kilometers per hour. This is my what I decided I can do. And they are cruising for the same watts as this. They are doing 45 to 49 kilometers per hour. So that's a whole 10 kilometers per hour difference, just because of the group effect, the slipstream. But anyways, that's it. What I'm going to do now, so I'm going to jump a bit to the front near the end of the race. Now we took a gel, and now you can see how fast we go, eh? I mean, these gels, they really work. Now I'm just speeding it up here quickly, because I wonder what this guy is doing all alone. Ah, he must be a loser. In any case, this is Alan, and they are still cruising along. A lot of 300s I see there on the watts, so that is pushing it. Now, coming through town, everybody normally rests a bit, and then it is serious, because you're just going to go up the hill, and soon you will see the desert just after this crossing. Stop showing this slacker. This guy, he must drink less beer and cycle more. Any case, this is the desert, almost. Yeah, the desert is gonna start now. There's the desert in the front. Okay, when the desert starts, it's like 5 turns or so to the finish line. So now everybody's already, this part here, everybody is normally a bit, shall I say, everybody is sort of relaxing a bit, because they want to have all the power for the sprint. But then you get some groups here that know that they can't take the people on the sprint, so what they're going to do is they're going to try and break away now. And now these people, they make it quite hard for you, but you should not let them go. So whenever somebody tries to break away now, you have to stick with them. Now you can see there's a lot of 300s, above 300 on Alan. And the reason for that is, if the camera will switch, I promise you, yeah, there's guys off the front, as you can see. So everybody is trying to close this gap. Then if the problem now is, when the guy in front of you got a gap, or couldn't keep up with the front wheel, or couldn't keep to the wheel in front of him, then you have to go around him. If you have to go around him, that is some serious watch you have to do. So that's, again, it's like a gamble. Should you stay in a group? Because most of the times those guys that go, they actually bargained on somebody going with them. Now there is 2 guys up the road. The one guy that tried to jump, he's already caught. And then the 2 guys up the roads, it will be interesting to see if they can catch them before the end. But all of a sudden I think we got hijacked in a helicopter, and I can't really see exactly. The guys are still in front. Alan's group is still going quite strong. Now you see they're doing 44 kilometers per hour. Now if you feel it in your legs right now, you could test it and you could see if you can go, if you know you can sustain, like say 350 to the end, because it's only now like maybe 2 kilometers to go. Then you could try that, but otherwise you just stay in this group and you sort of must outsprint them. This is the left turn, then we get the right turn, and then it should be the end. I'm not 100% sure, it's very difficult to see here, but I think I'm right. Now you see the wattage here, it's I'm not sure, but it should go. I see Alan is now near his max now, 176. Alright, but this should be the end. The view is just very difficult now. But I think this is actually the sprint for the finish line. Nobody's sprinting, everybody's sitting. I'll leave this guy. This guy's a loser. No, actually they came, some people came from behind, which was, thank heavens, because now you could at least stick to them a bit, and the average speed can go up and the end can come faster, so that you can get off the damn bike, because the suffering must end sometime, and the sooner the better. Alright, I think Alan and them have finished, because I have lost, like I said, about 4 minutes on them, and we are almost finished. Yeah, so the camera missed that, but I don't think there was any sprint left in Alan. Yeah, they finished, definitely, because I can see all the colors changed, everything, so they are done. So you can get off this 1960 retro bike, and then next day you have your normal bike again. Okay, thanks everybody, thanks for watching. The cameraman didn't go back for the other people, so I hope they all had a nice race.